paper. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Happy Tuesday, everybody. And the goal for today, just so you know, is we're going to get to a present positive, future positive conversation in just a moment. And there's a couple things that I want you to write down first. First of all, we are more motivated by avoiding pain than we are by going towards pleasure. A lot of times we're going to have to make a decision based on two painful choices. When that happens, the greater pain always wins. So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to go over here to the left side of the board. I'm going to get rid of the glare the best I can. All right, just so you know, we have three sources of lead generation: prospecting, marketing, repeat, and referral business. I want you to set a daily standard that is non-negotiable. This is your blueprint for success. If you were going to build a house, you're going to follow a blueprint. If you're baking a cake, you're going to follow the recipe. And just like if you're baking a cake, it's 100% of the ingredients exactly the way the recipe is written. If you leave out 2% of the ingredients, the cake is going to suck. And you don't want the cake to suck. You want it to be great. So make sure you include all of the ingredients. All right, we have a standard of 10 real estate conversations a day. Now, how did I come up with that number? I came up with that number because I really want it to be 20. I really want your standard to be 20 conversations. However, I know that if I give you a standard of 20 and you start out trying to have 20 real estate conversations every day, you're going to fail and you're going to give up. And I don't want you to give up. I want you to start out and I want you to have an expectation for success. Write that down. So when you have an expectation for success, you show up to do the work expecting to do the work. When you don't have an expectation for success, you start looking for excuses to settle for less. The biggest challenge that we have as real estate agents is we settle for good when great is still an option. Write that down. So 10 conversations and one appointment. That means I'm going to find one person every day who is thinking of buying or selling real estate. Now, regardless of whether that comes from making prospecting calls or it comes from marketing or it comes from my database, I am filling my pipeline. Now, at the end of the year, when I've hit the standards every single day, I will have been face-to-face with, that's funny. Hold on one second. I will have been face-to-face with 250 potential buyers and sellers. We're working 50 weeks, 5 days a week. If you're working less, then do the math based on how much you're working. By the way, I'd love that. If you were able to hit your goals for the year, working 48 weeks a year or 44 weeks a year, whatever the number is, awesome. Work expands to fill the time allowed. So allow yourself less time to achieve your goals. You still will. Allow yourself a lot of time to achieve your goals. You still will, but you're going to fill up the time. So you're face-to-face with 250 potential sellers. Now, the next part of this model says everything to the left of this line is lead generation. Everything to the right of this line is transaction management. That means they've hired you to sell their home. They've hired you, just like this buyer has hired Jacqueline, to buy a home. They're ready to buy. This space in the middle is follow-up, and that's the key to success. Success happens in the follow-up. Failure happens with lack of follow-up. Here's the thing about that. It's a choice. You either choose to follow up persistently without exception. There's the big difference. People will say, John, I'm persistent, and my response will be, yeah, but are you persistent without exception? Because everybody says they're persistent until they're not. So here's the key. Make sure you heard me. It's persistence without exception, which means week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, month 2, month 3. And I'm just going to keep going until we reach this point, which is emotional proximity, which means that's the point that they get serious about buying or selling. And you're going to earn the opportunity to work with them simply because you stayed in touch. All right. All of that to set up the actual conversation for today. Present positive is what's going on right now that's good. Future positive is Where do I want to be? Where do I want to go next? So if I'm speaking with a for sale by owner, for example, present positive is they have an awesome home. It's the best home in the neighborhood. It has the best date updates in the neighborhood. It's worth more than all of the other properties. It's got the most updates of all the properties in the neighborhood, and on and on and on. I'm selling it by owner, therefore I'm not paying a real estate commission. I'm saving money. That's all present positive. Now, to that same for sale by owner, where are you going when your home sells? I'm moving into a bigger home. All right. What's important to you about moving into a bigger home? Well, I have 3 kids and they're getting older and they each need their own bedrooms. Right now, 2 of them are sharing a bedroom and it's just kind of tight here. So it's going to give us more space, more peace of mind, happier life. And we're excited about this, this bigger home because we're making more money. We've got equity in our house and we're going to be able to buy our dream house. Future positive. What's important to you about that? What would that do for you? Tell me more. What does that look like? Remember, go deep, because the goal is not up here on the surface. That's snorkeling. The goal is down here where you're scuba diving, and you have to go deep in order to find the real goal. So you've identified present positive and you've identified future positive. Now, the next part of this exercise is present negative. In other words, what are the obstacles that are standing between where I am today and where I want to go next? So to that for sale by owner, what are the obstacles? Are you attracting great buyers? Tell me what a great buyer looks like. If you were that buyer, are you out driving around looking at for sale by owners, or are you working with a real estate agent like me? If you were a real estate agent, are you taking that buyer around showing them for sale by owners, or are you showing them homes that are listed by professionals like me? So one of the obstacles that could be between where we are right now and where we want to go is we're not attracting the best buyers on the market. All right, another obstacle, price. Have we strategically priced our property in order to beat the competition? Well, if most real estate agents don't even know how to do this, how many sellers know how to do this? If you asked a for sale by owner or even an expired listing, when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it's always going to come down to one of 3 reasons, either price, presentation, or marketing. Just out of curiosity, which of the 3 do you believe is the reason your home didn't sell? Now, they're never going to say price. It's always going to be something else, but ask them. You came off the market at $680,000. Just out of curiosity, did you have any offers? Tell me what those offers looked like. Well, they were lowball offers. The highest offer we got was $650, and it's just not enough. That's interesting. If you knew $650 was the best offer you were going to get, and you got the offer again today, what would you do? Would you accept the offer? All right, we're gonna answer that question in just a moment. So one of the obstacles to an expired listing and to a for sale by owner is they don't understand supply and demand. They don't know the supply and demand formula that all of you do, because we've practiced it, we've drilled it, we've rehearsed it right here. And it could be what's causing them not to sell, or it could be what caused them not to sell. Maybe staging is an obstacle and they don't even know it. They don't understand, they don't know. Hold on one second. That marker just died. We'll edit that part of the video. So they don't understand how important it is for their home to be staged. Maybe they're selling a home that is vacant and there's no furniture. They don't understand how important it is for a home to be furnished versus a home that's vacant in selling their home. These are all obstacles. Now, what happens is if we don't eliminate these obstacles, we're not going to end up in future positive. We're going to end up in future negative, which is exactly where we are today. Now, this is the pain point. Remember what I said earlier. We're more motivated by avoiding pain than we are by going towards pleasure. So I want to ask harm's way questions that are going to take the seller or the buyer to future negative. And when I do that, I'm going to park right there. I'm going to get to pain and park on pain because logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. They're going to make a decision based on emotion. And in order to help them self-discover a new reason, remember, people will never change their mind, but they'll make new decisions based on new information. In order to help them make a new decision based on new information, we're going to take them to pain and we're going to park on pain. In other words, Jacqueline, back to that conversation on that offer you got for $750, I understand you feel like it's a low ball offer. However, if the market said $750 is the right price, what would you do? What's plan B if you can't get $780? If plan B is waiting a year and then putting it on the market in a year, that's fine. You're not moving into that big, beautiful home that has bedrooms for all the kids. You're still kind of cramped and it's not the lifestyle that you want. I get it. You're okay with that for a year if it means more money. But what if a year from now, it's not $750, it's $730? What if it's $720? If inventory continues to increase, we have more homes on the market and fewer buyers, then we're going to have more inventory. And when we have more inventory, we have sellers that are competing for buyers. And when sellers are competing for buyers, the only way they win that competition is to drop their price. And when they do that, the values of homes are going down. They're not going up. I'm over here on future negative and I'm parked. So your home could be worth less a year from now than it is today. Maybe it's not $750, maybe it's $730. How far does the price have to drop before you can no longer afford to sell your home? If you found yourself in a market similar to the market we had back in 2008, and values dropped for the next couple of years, and then it took 4 to 5 years for values to come back, if this time is like that time, you're 8 years away from your home being worth what it is today. Pain. If somebody in the neighborhood sold their home and it's a foreclosure, is the value of your home going up or going down? Pain. What happens when you don't change what you're doing? You keep doing what you're doing, expecting a different result. You end up exactly with what you have. We call that insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And since I know you're not insane, what's your plan? What are you going to do different? Keep taking them to pain because we're more motivated by avoiding pain than we are by going towards pleasure. Future positive is pleasure. If you just focus on this, they won't do what's necessary to remove this. And where will they end up? Well, they'll end up right here, future negative, which is pretty much exactly where you are right now. Now, I don't think anybody wants to be exactly where they are a year from now. If you look back on your life 5 years ago, is this where you thought you would be? The answer is no for me. I don't know what it is for you, but good is not okay. And great is not even okay. I'm looking for best. How do you find best? Remove the obstacles in order to grow. All right. Talk to me, guys.
Well, this was awesome. I mean, for the first time, like a light bulb went off in my head of what you're doing as far as the running away from pain and towards positive. I mean,
Mhm.
it was just like a light bulb went off. So thank you.
Mhm. Thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing that.
Maybe it's because you and I already went over the future positive, present positive one, but I got a lot out of the actual beating it into my hand. The standard is the number of conversations. And the number of conversations, it doesn't have to be 20, maybe it's 10 for you. But like me, my goal is to travel and see my family. So I need to do all of my work and condense down to 9 months a year. So I need to have those 10 conversations and that one appointment by working 4 days a week and only working 36 weeks a year.
All right, tell me again what the goal is, Joe.
So my goal is to sell 36 homes.
No. Go back to the family. I'm sorry.
Oh, to see my family across the entire country
All right, pause.
and do it all in nine and sell houses for only 9 months a year.
Okay, that's future positive. Got it?
Yeah.
And that goal, as great as it is, will not motivate you to hit your daily standard. It won't. You won't do it. You'll settle for less. Here's what will cause you to get up and do the work without exception. If you don't hit the daily standard, a year from now, you're going to be exactly where you are. 2 years from now, you're going to be exactly where you are, which means you're not traveling the country and spending time with family. You're not only working 9 months a year, you're working 12 months a year in order to just get by. Now, when you can get your focus on avoiding that, now you'll show up and hit the standard.
And that's why when I didn't feel like making my phone calls yesterday after one appointment canceled on me, I got on the phone and I made my calls and I set another appointment.
That's it. Lose one, get two. If somebody cancels on you, schedule 2 more appointments. If you have a contract fall apart, get 2 more properties under contract. If you have a listing canceled, go get 2 more listings. There's no problem that anybody here is having that 2 new listings won't fix. You know, Tomasini put this hex on me. So he's told the entire world that John has this way of communicating where he has long pauses, but you hang in there because you know you want to hear what he says next. So you guys are waiting for me to keep talking. And I'm not. That was a statement. In other words, okay, who's next? Come on, let's go. All right, thank you, Nick.
I just want to add that it has to be a mind set that when something doesn't go right, that you quickly pivot to what you know is going to create positivity.
That's
And
right.
it takes work. It's so hard sometimes because you do feel down when you get kicked in the you know what, but you already have to have it pre-built in your head. So when it does go wrong, you just repeat that to yourself, whatever that mantra is, and you'll go.
That's right. That's right. How long does it take you to get over a disappointment? Here's the answer. 1 quick breath.
Some will, some won't. So what next?
There you go. There you go,
Yep.
Drexel. There you go, buddy. Proud of you.
That was recruiting school day one. The guy wrote it on the board, and I didn't really understand it at the time.
That's right.
But I quickly learned it.
That's right. That's right. I mean, this is so inappropriate, but I wish I knew this when I was in high school. Holy cow. I'd ask the prettiest girl out. She'd go, no way, no problem, next. No problem, next. No problem, next. Somebody's going to eventually say yes. All right. Sean, talk to me.
So we talk about not being emotionally attached to the what fill in the blank. And so the thing I tell myself is whatever happens, positive.
You froze. Come on, Sean. You always have such good
whatever happens. Positive, negative, or in between. It's not happening to you. It's just happening.
Oh, man, let me add one more word.
Just happening.
Let me add one more word. You missed it. Okay. It's happening for you. It's happening for
There you
you.
go.
Failure leads to growth every single time. If you're a competitive person and you're playing a game, just name the game, it doesn't matter, and you crush it, you don't spend any time, hey, Casey Cummings, good to see you, buddy. You don't spend any time analyzing what you did, thinking, how can I do it better? It's only when you fail that you stop and ask yourself, what could I have done different? What could I have done better? Failure leads to growth. Success leads to complacency. All right, I've got
I
9.
agree.
That's a wrap. Raise your hand if you got value today. Joking. Hey, look at that. All those hands. I love it.
This was really good stuff.
Thank
Really
you,
good stuff.
Brian.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Awesome.
Thanks, guys. See
Jenny,
you
great
tomorrow.
to see you here. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
All right. All right, everybody, go crush it today. Tell your friends. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Make it a great.
Thanks, John.
All right. Go get them, everybody.